YouTube, what is going on, Lakers family? And I'm back with another banger video, man. It's been a couple days since I last made a Lakers video, but I'm back, baby. I'm so hyped for this upcoming season. But in today's video, we're going to be talking about my starting lineup for the 2023-24 season. And to be honest, guys, we won free agency. I liked what Rob Pelinka did this offseason. We retained some of our guys, and we didn't have to overpay. Now, I'm going to have Gabe Vincent as our starting point guard just because in the NBA Finals, he stepped up offensively. He was very good defensively. He was knocking down his shots. And he's a defensive-minded guard. He's around 6'3", 6'4", and he was an undrafted player. So the Miami Heat live off of getting undrafted players, and the Heat did lose him, and we got him for very cheap on the Los Angeles Lakers. So he's going to be here for another 3 years. Now, there's been reports that D'Angelo Russell could be our starting point guard. We're very deep, right? But both of these players are going to be fighting to be our starting point guard. Maybe you can have Gabe Vincent come off the bench, but in my personal opinion, I'd rather have Gabe Vincent just because he's a better defender. D'Angelo Russell wasn't playable in the Western Conference Finals against the Denver Nuggets. He didn't touch the court. He was airballing shots, but we cannot forget that he did win us a game against the Golden State Warriors when he dropped 30 points. I believe it was game 6 or game 4, but in the regular season, he was averaging around 20 points per game, and he was starting as our point guard in the regular season since we traded him in the trade deadline. And then for our shooting guard, I'm going to go with Austin Reeves, right? He's a bucket. That guy can hoop. He's around 6'4", 6'5". I'm glad we retained him because if we did not, we would have lost him. Would have been a huge loss, and I think he could be our future if LeBron James and Anthony Davis retire. He could space out the floor. He's a switchable defender. He's always ready to play in the big moments, and he's a postseason performer. He was one of our best three-point shooters, and the fact that he hit a half-court shot heading into overtime is just incredible. Now, Max Christie, there's reports that he could be in the rotation. He's taking his game to the next level. Last year, he didn't really get too much minutes in the rotation. He's a shooting guard, right? I do think he has the potential to be a 3-and-D wing just because of his size. He's around like 6'6", 6'7". Correct me if I'm wrong. And in the Summer League, he's been balling. He has a nice soft touch. He's been more confident. His shots are going down. Last season in the California Classic, his shots were not going down. And it was just because he was a rookie. He wasn't getting too much playing time. And Phil Handy was getting his hands on him. So I do think he's going to take his game to the next level and he's going to be in the rotation. And then for Demoy Hodge, I'm not sure. I doubt he's going to be in the rotation. He's on a 2-way contract for the Los Angeles Lakers, and that dude can shoot the three ball. He's KCP 2.0. He's a 3-and-D wing. He's a switchable defender, defensive-minded guard. He's around like 6'3", 6'4". He played all 4 years in college. I believe he played for Missouri this past season. And then for Jalen Hood-Ficino, he's a playmaker. He can pass the ball. He's an elite passer. He can actually defend. He's a defensive-minded guard. He's around 6'4". He's one of those taller point guards, so he's not a smaller point guard, but he does need to improve his three-point shooting, and I do think he has the potential to be a future star. I'm not going to go that far right now. I don't want to put too much expectations on him, but he has the upside. He's very raw. He only played 1 season as a freshman for University of Indiana, and he's only 20 years old. And then for LeBron James, I'm going to have him as our small forward. LeBron can play all 3 positions. He can play small forward, shooting guard, point guard. He can even play the center at times. There are times where he was playing the center for the Los Angeles Lakers, but he's getting older. He didn't really have the greatest performance in the postseason, but there were times where he did drop us 30 points in a game. He won us a game. I believe it was game 6 against the Golden State Warriors, and that was his best postseason performance. But Father Time is starting to kick in, and he can switch multiple positions. That's how versatile the guy is. He's 6'8" or 6'9", and he's the all-time leading scorer in NBA history. So we need three-point shooting, and he's a playmaker. So you're going to find guys for open shots. And then Rui Hachimura, I'm glad that we retained him. There was no way that we were going to lose him just because he made it far in the postseason. His first time making it in the postseason, he could switch multiple positions. He improved as a three-point shooter. He has that Carmelo mid-range game. He's very good at attacking at the rim and using his size to guard the best player on the opposing team. Now, Cam Reddish, he really hasn't got too much of an opportunity. We got him in free agency. He's around 6'8", and he's a 3-and-D wing. He has a potential to be a very good, solid player. I think he's going to be having a breakout year. I'm not sure if he's going to be coming off the bench or he'd be starting, but he could space out the floor. He could shoot the three, and he has plenty of upside. I think he's very good. I'm very high on Cam Reddish. I think he's going to be very good for the Los Angeles Lakers and to get that opportunity because we heard reports that Tom Thibodeau, the head coach for the New York Knicks, didn't even want him. And then the Atlanta Hawks did trade him. Former Duke, I've been watching him for a long time. He could even play the three. And then for Torian Prince, we acquired him in free agency. He's a 3-and-D wing, and his goal is to shoot 40%. He would help our three-point shooting. And I'm actually shocked the Minnesota Timberwolves let him go because he was a free agent. And the fact that he stepped up at times defensively and offensively. And then as our power forward, I'm going to have AD just because he's been injury prone. We don't want to risk him getting injured again. And he can roam around. So it's going to let him shoot more threes. He can have a nice mid-range game. And at the center position, he was struggling shooting from the field. He wasn't that great of a three-point shooter throughout his career. He's injury-prone, but he's one of our best interior defenders on our team. So he's going to be starting. And there's reports that the Lakers could be having him going back to play that power forward like we did in the bubble when we won the championship. And then Vando, he's a very good on-ball defender. He's one of the best perimeter defenders in the league. He could rebound. He could switch multiple positions. He could play the 4. There were times where he can even play the 5. That's how good he is, right? Floor spacing, I am concerned about it just because in the postseason it did not work with DeAndre Russell and Austin Reeves on the team with LeBron James because, LeBron James did struggle to shoot the 3 at times in the postseason. He was shooting so many threes and he was jacking up his shots, and AD is just a very inconsistent three-point shooter, and he's not the greatest three-point shooter. And then for the center position, I'm going to have Jackson Hayes. He could play the power forward, but he's like around 6'10", 6'11". He's a rim runner. He's a lob threat. He could throw down dunks, and he could protect the paint. And for the New Orleans Pelicans, he was a former lottery pick in 2019. He really hasn't reached his full potential. It's about fit and opportunity. He wasn't really getting too much minutes over there. And the fact that we got him in free agency, I do like it. I do think he's going to have his chance to play a lot of minutes for the Lakers, whether he comes off the bench. Would he be our starting center alongside AD? Because I want 2 big man lineups in the front court. And then Christian Wood, I'm not sure because there's been several reports the Lakers could get Christian Wood in free agency. They're even also interested in Bismack Biyombo, but Christian Wood can space out the floor. He's an offensive scorer. I am concerned because he's not the greatest defender, and take off the pressure off of Anthony Davis because, Anthony Davis is going to miss around at least 30 to 40 games every season. He cannot stay healthy. And then that's all for today's video. So you guys let me know in the comment section, how do you guys feel about this starting lineup? Would you guys want Gabe Vincent at the 1 or DeAndre Russell at the 1 as the starting point guard? Both of these players are going to be fighting for the point guard position. Or do you want Austin Reeves playing the 2, LeBron at the 3, Rui Hachimura at the 4, or maybe even have AD at the 5? So appreciate the support, and I'm out of here. Peace.